One of the lovely things that I get to experience a lot is I go to a hairdressing salon and I see a whole lot of people in passion because they love what they do. Okay, and it's fascinating to watch because they're in spirituality, doing what they do. It's an interesting concept, isn't it? Hairdressers, they're maybe not meditating. They didn't really know what to do when they were coming, whether they needed to bring a pillow or anything like that. But those people, every time I've watched them in awe. It's a really different understanding around spirituality and what we're here to do. So imagine if everyone starts doing what they want. What's that going to create? Peace. You'll be really, really happy. And imagine if everyone's doing what they want, they're going to create a sense inside of themselves that has a wholeness. Aren't they? This is what I've found. When I do my work, I've found a sense of wholeness inside of me. And I've got a really strong vision for this world. I really want this place to change. How do you think we can change this planet? Every single individual needs to look after themselves instead of looking after everyone else. Because this is what I've found. All the people that come into my space and they find this harmonic space inside of them and they feel so calm and so centered, I ask them this question. If every single person felt this way right now, would there be peace on the planet? Would there? Of course. But what do we do? What do? We always look outside of the square. We're always looking, okay, we'll find that peace in another person. Once we have a relationship or once we do something, we're going to find that peace. But what I've found with all my sessions that I've done, that every person has said yes with their higher self, their higher nature coming in. And what I talk about when I'm doing my sessions and doing my work with people, my goal is to get people's higher selves, their higher nature, their higher instructional world into their bodies. Not being out of their bodies to actually function and try and find the fifth dimension or the sixth dimension or something like that, which a lot of people do. I actually try to get them inside of themselves. And when they start to do that, they create a great instruction for their life. It's very, very different. Then they stop questioning themselves. And what do? We always have to ask someone else, is this okay? Someone asked me, what job should I, just walking by, what job should I get? I've got 2 job opportunities, so I'm like, I'll take the second one, it feels right. Okay, because I just trust that straight away. I don't question. It's just boom and it's there. And I've been doing this for such a long time, it's become non-conscious. So imagine if we start being conscious on finding our insides. Are we going to get peaceful? Okay, the trick is, what are we going to do when the external world is bombarding us with all of this input and information? What do? We panic. We end up in a mess, and when we're in our stresses, we do everything the opposite. We may know a whole lot of fantastic breathing techniques with ISIS or stuff that I do, you know, and we forget all of that and we go, oh shit, what do I do? This is what we do all the time, don't we? We panic. So we go into what's called your non-conscious reality. And do you know, we actually run this 90% of the time in our life, non-consciously. Once you start figuring out how to be a little bit more conscious, then you actually create a peaceful world. And this is not about doing meditation for an hour a day. Okay, if you do your meditation, and a lot of people do this, I'm not dissing it, not saying it's wrong, you do your meditation for an hour a day and then for 23 hours in a day you're doing something else, is that peace? Interesting. I really feel we need to start finding that inner peace in every environment that we're in. And how do we do that? When things come, do we be reactive towards them or we watch them? Watch them as they come forward. Does that make sense? It's pretty simple. Like, we create so much complexity out of life. There's so many bills, bills that we have to pay, so many things that we have to do. It's so complex, but really it's quite simple. All we need to do, look after ourselves, breathe, and when we get something that comes forward to us, we breathe and relax and watch it rather than actually react to it. Does that make sense? It's pretty simple, but there's a couple of belief systems that a lot of people have around this that I've worked with.